Hello and welcome to World in 5. Zimbabwe's health sector is set to undergo a major facelift after President Mnangagwa visited two of the country's major referral hospitals, Mnangagwa Group of Hospitals and Mugabe Hospital, and came face to face with the state of affairs at the public health facilities. Using a private motorcade, the president made his way to the two hospitals, stopping even at traffic lights and at some point being briefly detained in a traffic jam. The president made his way to Mnangagwa Hospital ward, starting with the pediatric unit that reflected in years of neglect. President Mnangagwa also toured Natfarm Warehouse. The president was accompanied by Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Martin Rushwaya, Deputy Chief Secretary, Reverend Paul Bayete Tamasani, and Deputy Chief Secretary, Mr. George Charamba. Zimbabwe joined the rest of the African continent in commemorating the International Day of the African Child ahead of the country's own celebrations scheduled for Friday, where President Mnangagwa will officially open the 33rd Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe. The Junior Parliament event will take place at the new Parliament building in Mount Habden. The Junior Parliament held its elections for the new leadership, with Lionel Mazarire voted the new child president. Mazarire has vowed to safeguard the rights and empower the African child through all the necessary supporting laws. He was speaking after emerging the winner, beating 9 other contestants in a tightly contested election in Harare this Monday. Mazarire garnered 61 votes, followed by the Speaker of Parliament, Michael Ndambani, who scored 47. The third was Tinevimbo Mavetera, who garnered 41 votes. The child president-elect says he will use the platform to champion children's rights.
Child rights don't have to be just words written with ink on a paper. They have to be something that a child actually gets. And this is what we want. This is where we actually advocate for the budget and planning for child rights. And this is what I'm going to make sure and advocate for. What they want is something that I need to know, because the greatest challenge you can actually face is trying to solve a problem that you do not know. So if they tell me their problems, now we have the channel of communication so that we can actually solve them. So I feel like it's a spirit inside us that's always telling us to fight and compare and achieve greater heights. This is what I feel about the African child, and we will celebrate that today.
The Gukurahundi community hearings are finally set to begin on June 26, with government indicating readiness to compensate victims. The National Chiefs Council said all is now in place for the rollout of the Gukurahundi Community Engagement Outreach Program. This follows a key meeting in Bulawayo over the weekend, where final logistical preparations were discussed with traditional leaders from Matebelele North and South.
The president himself has said people will be compensated, but quantum can't be predetermined even for the hearing, for example, because one will say, I lost 3 head of cattle. One will say, I lost 15. So you can't say give the same amount to everybody. It depends on each case, as they say, will be decided, or each compensatory value or quantum will depend on the merits of the case.
Zimbabwe joined the world in celebrating Father's Day on Sunday. We now bring you an inspiring story from Epworth, a dormitory town in Harare. This one is a tale of resilience, skill, and the profound power of a father's legacy.
In a world often overshadowed by hardship and despair, the workshop of Tafamba crackles with a different kind of energy, a blend of grit, skill, and purpose. Here in Epworth, Tafamba is not an ordinary welder. With each flame, he builds more than just machines. He shapes a future for his son and a legacy for generations to come.
Ndichienda kuchikoro kudaro kuprimary chaiko taitoita zvokutotambudzika chaizvo zvokutoti ndakatosvika pakusvika grade 7 ndisina kana birth certificate chairo.
But behind this torchbearer is a steady flame of her own memory. Tafamba's wife, the quiet strength who has stood beside his journey from poverty to purpose.
Paanenge ana baba wake handimbotye nekuti ndichiziva kuti ari mumaoko akanaka, nekuti vamwe vana vazhinji vari kuswera vari mumigwagwa vachimwa mitoriro vachiita zvemadrugs but wamuzwa kuti ari safe iye vari kumuratidza gwara rakanaka.
Tinoda kuti vana vangu ava vasazopindawo nepandakapinda apa, asi kunyange vakazonzi vatadzawo zvechikoro zvaramba kuda zvakanaka, asi nepesi yandakabhilda iyi yekuita basa ramaoko vakapindawo nepandiri vakaita shungu ndinadzo vanosvika pandiri pano.
Tinashe, their son, once dreamed of computers, but life and perhaps fate led him to the craft of welding, where his hands now dance with fire.
Welding is it no? Then it's not your cutting joint.
The arrest of a British soldier accused of rape at army barracks in Nyanyuki, Kenya, this month has put a long-running and very current scandal involving mistreatment of local women by members of the forces, even allegedly murder and cover-ups, back in the spotlight. Agnes Wanjiru, a 21-year-old mother of one, was reportedly last seen with 2 British soldiers leaving a bar in 2012. A Kenyan court found she had been murdered by 1 or 2 soldiers. Others' claims have included an alleged hit and run and accusations of soldiers leaving local women pregnant. Kenyan lawmakers began a public inquiry in 2024 about alleged mistreatment of local women by British soldiers.
My name is Esenjoki, the niece to Agnes Wanjiru, who was murdered by a British soldier in 2012. I'm 21 years old, as she was when her life was cut short. It's been 13 years of trying to get justice, which up to date we have not been served justice, and this is where we laid her to rest. I was 8 years old when she went missing. Yes, and after 2 months we learned that her body has been discovered in a hotel septic tank, and so that's when we knew it was murder, because the person who she was last seen with she was in a company of British soldiers when she had gone with her friends to unwind in the hotel.
That's all we have for Old in 5. Good afternoon.